Hello everyone. Let me know if you can hear me and see me and everything's good before I get too far. Let me know. Hi Catherine. Hi Vicky. Hi Linda. Hi Ann. Everything sounds good. That's what I like to hear. Happy Tuesday. Hi Susan. Nice to see you. Hi Shelley and Debbie and Marielle. You're doing the romper room the romper room roll call again. Great. Hi Vicky and Barbara and Patricia. Everything's good. Thank you. I have been trying to do my glue book series. I spent quite a long time yesterday and some time this morning trying to get it together here, and I'm finding that the videos are too long, and so I'm having trouble. A lot of information, and I want to condense it into bite-sized bits, and there's a lot of information for just the basic things. So anyway, I'm having some trouble. I've redone the video 3 or 4 times, and I feel like I'm not getting anywhere. Hi Keller. Hi Susan. Aw, you're an adult. Work adulting today. You're at work adulting today. That's funny how you say that. You're at work adulting today and can only lurk, Susan. So sorry to hear that. But lurking is better than not lurking. So I hope I was going to work a little bit in this, but let's move on. Let's move on. I'm having, hi Claudette, I am having some difficulties with stuff. Okay, so happy Tuesday. And I have gotten a lot of questions about, hi Paper Drake, hi Linda, my images. Where do I get those wonderful images? Well, I have to say that I have been collecting images for a very long time. Hi Pamela. And so a lot of my images, I've had for a while, and I've come across them and loved the images and have kept them. And I am going to do a video on how I store my images. I don't think I'm going to get to it today because I don't have that stuff out here right now. I was trying to get the first part of the glue book series out, and I still haven't got it done after so many tries. Anyway, so a lot of my images, let's just back up here. Hi Dorothy. Let's get something out here to look at because I have to fiddle. I have to fiddle while I'm talking. And these are such beautiful magazines. This one is Daphne's Diary. I think this one is the one that's out right now. I think no, this one is 2017. I haven't gotten one of these in a while. I did go ahead and spoil myself and I did go and get some magazines. This one was not one of them. I am sorry. My mind is all over the place. The huge fish images that I used for the junk journal glue book that I am using, that I'm trying to work in. I wonder if it's in this one. The ones in here, that's the ones you're talking about. Those were actually gifted to me. Someone sent them to me in Happy Mail. The one that looks like the elephants. She sent the elephants and she sent the fish. And I don't know where that is right now. I've got everything situated so I can do videos, and I don't know where anything is. Hey, Jane. Those were actually gifted to me. Someone sent those to me knowing that I would love those. So I have no idea where those came from. I think they were a calendar. Calendars are wonderful places to get images. And probably, I think the 1st of February, I think Books A Million and Barnes & Noble will be putting their calendars, their leftover calendars, on sale for $3 each. I had a large redfish and a black one. Well, whenever I find fish, I definitely save them. I like fish, and they are hard to come by. I usually find them in National Geographic. That's one of my favorite. Well, it used to be. Lately, they've not had some good stuff in them. Oh, the snapper fish. That's in my glue book. That is an image that I have had for a very long time. This one? This one I've had for probably 10 years, and I don't remember what magazine it came out of. I did tear it out of the magazine, and I put it in one of the binder sleeves to keep it. It was actually a 2-page spread in the magazine, so it was cut in half to begin with. It was so big, I mean, really. So, yes. Hi, Linda. I have found images for a very long time, and I have kept those images that I liked. And I used to keep them in, and I have this one for a very long time too. This is a fish that I glued onto this girl with the bubble, because I thought that was cute. But I've had these for over, I dust varies, over 10 years, probably over 15 years. I did work at Borders for a very long time. And when I worked there, we were able to, the publications, the magazines that we had, at the time, we would, the old publications, they would rip the cover off and send back to the magazine people. I actually do know how to speak, but words are not coming to me today. So they would send the covers back to get credits for the magazines that they didn't sell. But then they would have the whole body of the magazine that they would throw away. And I made friends with the magazine guy, and before he would throw anything away, he would let me go through and pick out magazines. And I took tons and tons of magazines home without the covers. So a lot of times, I don't even know where these magazines, where the images come from, because I didn't have the covers, and sometimes they're written on the bottom of the pages, and sometimes they're not, the name of the magazine. So I had tons of magazines that way. So many that they were becoming out of control, and so I would rip out the images that I wanted, save them in protector sleeves and then throw away the parts of the magazine that I didn't use. So I've been doing that for a very, very long time, and that is one of those magazines. So when if you're asking me questions, for those people in the chat, let me back up just a little bit. Happy Tuesday, everyone. If you're watching the recording, this is a live stream. I am streaming, hi Mary Lou, with a chat. People are in the chat here asking me questions and saying comments and things like that. So I am talking to people in my chat. I do live stream every Tuesday and Sunday at 2 p.m. Eastern Time. If you would like to come and chat with the girls, it's mostly girls here, and they have a great time in the chat. They talk amongst themselves, they talk to me. And if you are in the chat and you have a question for me or a comment for me, please put it in caps. Then I know you're talking to me and not having a conversation. I'm getting hot. I'm going to have to put the fan on. Then I know you're not having a conversation amongst yourselves. That way I can see it at a glance, and I know that you're talking to me and asking a question, so I can answer that question or that comment or whatever. So I have been saving images for a very, very long time. So I do have quite a few images that I love, and that's what started me doing the glue books, is putting all those images that I had in binder sleeves and putting them together in a book form so I can flip through like this and just enjoy the images, because I love they're so inspirational. Just, when you're having one of those times you just don't know where to start, or what's going on, you just want to sit and relax and just flip through some images, and a lot of times something will jumpstart your brain into thinking about something looking at images. It'll give you ideas, so they're quite a good inspiration. Hello, Debbie and Jane. There are no rules, so I'm saying, if you're trying to get my attention, put it in caps so I can see it. Oh, don't worry about it. It's not a big deal. I just don't want to miss questions. I want to answer things, and so I want to be able to see them at a glance. When I'm doing other things, I need to be able just to glance over and see the question. So anyway, so I get a lot of comments about my images, and a lot of people, say that they're jealous of images. I'm sorry. I'm trying my best to give ideas about where, thank you, Linda, where to get these images, where I get these images. And that's what I'm going to talk about today. Since I get so many questions about it, so many comments about the images, and especially now that I'm doing the Glue Book January, and people are seeing all the images that I'm pulling out, I want to give people some ideas where to find some of my images. Where do I get black and white images? Where do I get black and white images? Everywhere. Everywhere. This one came out of a Time magazine. This one, I don't remember where that one came out of. I've got other black and white images. This one I think came out of National Geographic. They come all over the place. All over the place. I recently got a National Geographic at a used bookstore, and I got it because they had a ton of black and white photographs in it, reproductions of photos. So I mean, I'm always on the lookout for those kinds of things. So, hi Ina. So let me just go through. I've got a stack of magazines here. And what's my most favorite magazine? It was mostly National Geographics. Hi, Amy. I am trying like crazy to put out some more videos. Thank you. I'm trying like crazy. Having a little bit of difficulty here in the last couple of days, but I'm trying. So, what's my most favorite magazine? For years and years and years, it was the National Geographic. I love those full-page color photographs of the animals and the landscapes in different places around the world. Love that. Hi, Claudette. There's two Claudettes. Isn't that funny? But lately, National Geographic has gotten into a lot of politics and diseases, you know, and poverty and images that are kind of a downer. They're still beautiful, but they're, you know, and I'm not loving National Geographic as much as I used to. So you feel another list coming on? All right. So if someone would like to make a list, that's what I am going to go and do today. I've got piles of magazines here. Of course, we all know about the Somerset magazines. They've got wonderful images in them with artwork and that kind of stuff. A lot of us, I am one of those that don't like to tear them up, cut them up. But I do, eventually. If I've had a magazine for 8 years, 9 years, I definitely I get too many. I've got too many magazines. I have to downsize. And so I will pull out articles and images that I like out of the magazines. Sometimes I put them in portfolios, the books that you can slide images into. I have one of those somewhere because I was using it for my video I was trying to do earlier. Page protectors, or I like these portfolios. They've got the pages. I can slip more than one page of a magazine in there so I can keep the article all together, and then I can get rid of the bulk of the magazine. I have done that quite a bit. I want to get some of my publications out and start gluing other images just for images, because you know, you go through the Somerset, and of course I don't have a Somerset Studios here. Somerset charity shops, yes. Somerset Studios is a great magazine for inspiration, and you know, they have such wonderful pictures in them. So I like to go through them and just be inspired by the artwork and the pictures of the artwork in those. And so I'm thinking that I might, to reduce my art journaling magazine and Somerset Studios, I think I'm going to glue some of those in on top of some of the text for just a flip through for those kinds of images. Hi, Ruth. First time. Welcome, welcome. Okay. Hi, Verify. All right. And I don't know where to start. Okay. My brain is still on vacation, people. It just does not want to work. So number one, magazines, the Somerset Studio magazines, the art journaling magazines. Those are great for images. There are some, these are more expensive images, magazines with really cool images in them. I don't let myself get these very often. This one is a 2017. I only have 2 of them. This one is a 2016. Usually around my birthday, even though this one's a June, around my birthday, I will indulge myself. I will spoil myself just a little bit and allow myself to get some of these fancy, expensive magazines. Now, I only have 2 of the Daphne's Diaries, but they are beautiful, beautiful images. All kinds of images. And I keep them for a while. I spend so much money on them, I can't allow myself to start tearing them up for quite a while. I'm getting ready to, I've got color book pages in them too. I'm getting ready to tear up these 2. I think this one is, it's probably 6 months old or so. I think it's a June or spring publication. I'm thinking that I might start taking some of those images out of there. Oops, sorry. Hi, Dust Fairies. Hi, Nana's Place, Tracy. Okay. Another one I did about right the first week in January, I went out and got myself some magazines this year. And Breathe is another one of those special magazines. It's more on the pricey side, so I don't get it very often. This is the one that I found. It will be displayed until March 23rd. And this is Wellness, Kindness, Mindfulness, Inspiration. I like these. They have wonderful illustrations in them, wonderful articles, peaceful. It's nice, quiet time magazines, and a lot of times I will look at these before I go to bed. And these would be wonderful magazines to make a magazine glue book from. You've got wonderful images on the bottom, and you can glue more images on top of text and things that you really don't want to look at, and allow yourself a glue book, a calming glue book, a glue book for just relaxing with. These are just wonderful. Bye, Linda. You got this month's Daphne's Diary. I don't know if I saw it. I'm not big into the cold weather, so if a magazine is all centered around the wonderful theme or winter themes, I tend to stay away from those because I don't enjoy them that much. But this one is absolutely wonderful for images, and the articles are neat too. Yoga and balance and breathing. Playtime. There are some black and white images. You find them everywhere. You find them everywhere. It depends on the articles in the magazines. So, yep, and there's another black and white. They're all over the place. And so there's another black and white. I love these. Love these. And this one is an older one, I think. I can't see the date on it. It might be December's. This might not be that old. But again, I love the illustrations. They've got illustrations, photographs, all kinds of fun things in there. And I do have to savor them for a while before I allow myself to start tearing them up. One that I have had for quite a long time and I have not seen again since. I don't know if this was a a one-off magazine. I really enjoyed this one. Another pricey magazine. Calm. I get myself worked up. I get, I put too much pressure on myself, and I need to relax a little bit. And so I will take these magazines and just breathe while I flip through, read the articles, just enjoy these magazines. So I don't get them very often, but I do use them, so I do allow myself to get them every once in a while. And so I have a stack of them. There's a wonderful tree. Isn't that beautiful? And it's calming. The Breathe was this special well-being Breathe was $14.99, and the regular Breathe is $12.99 at I think Books A Million is where I get them. But I think they're pretty much the same in just about any of the bookstores. So these are wonderful. The Flow magazines, I have those as well. Those are also really, they're expensive. They're not cheap, but they are really fun to go through them and relax with and enjoy. And they would make great glue book magazines. Sorry, I'm getting used to the headset, so I keep bumping it on stuff. I don't know if you hear that or not. As I bend down, I get the desk and stuff. All right, so Bella Grace is a Stampington and Company publication, and it is another one of those calming, peaceful, relaxing, really cool magazines with a lot of neat illustrations and photographs and articles. And it's Bella Grace, Life's a Beautiful Journey. This one is $20. Again, pretty pricey, but I do get them. This one is an old one. This one's last year. This one I got for my birthday last year. The pages in these are not shiny. They're the matte finish, which makes them kind of really calm in themselves. And yeah, here's one with all the winter stuff. I hate my birthday being in the winter months. I don't enjoy the cold. And I don't like saving pictures with a lot of cold images in them because it makes me cold, and that's not relaxing for me. So, but I do love the magazines, the articles. Here's one with bubbles. I love bubbles. I usually have some bubbles saved, so I go outside and blow bubbles sometimes. And shells. I love to collect shells. So the photographs are just beautiful. They've got quotes from different people, different articles, lots of lists. 52 tiny moments that make us pause. And so they get different things from a lot of different people, put the list together so that you can read the list of what people do to calm themselves. What do they do? There's different things, lots of different kinds of lists. And I love lists. So here's another list. 25 habits to break before you turn 25. Habits to adopt. Make your own list. So I just love these magazines. Room to Breathe. They are really relaxing. Really relaxing. And they have all kinds of interesting things to think about, is what I really like about them. So this was the one that I got for my birthday this year, and of course it's got a lot of cold weather stuff in it. Which I don't like, but But they've got some images in here that are summer type. There's flowers. And here's another list. 95 ways we instantly reset our days. And these come from all over. Different people use Instagram and say and send in the way that they reset their days. And so there's a whole list of different ideas. Here's somebody else blowing bubbles. Different ideas on how to relax during the day. You're having a hard time at work, take a breather. And so I need that right now. And here's the article. I had to put it down after this one. Give me the cold. Are you kidding me? I was freezing in bed. I couldn't get out of bed. Too cold to get out of bed. And the article is all about give me the cold. I'm like, I'm waiting for winter to be over. I didn't read that article. I went right past it. So, love these images. And these images are wonderful to save and enjoy. They're kind of a glue book in all by themselves. Just add a few images in some of these places that you don't want to look at again, and you have got yourself a relaxing glue book. Love the beach scenes. Love them. So, just wanted to show those. Spoil yourself every once in a while. I like to do that. The Calm magazine, like I said, if you guys know if this was just a one-off, if you've ever seen this one again, I swear I got this one probably, it's been more than a year ago, and I've not seen one since. I don't see a date on it anywhere. I think it would be a date. I don't see one. But this is the only one I ever saw, and I really enjoyed it. The idea of staying calm and that kind of thing. I like this idea. So, hello, Kathleen. All right, so let's get into where I get most of my images. You live in Texas, send you the cold stuff. Do you like cold stuff, Miss Vicki? Okay, so my number one place to get images, if I don't like spending money, I don't like it. I try to avoid spending money. I need to pay my bills before I spend any money, so I try not to do that. So my number one place to get images are the welcome centers at the borders of states. Good night, Dust Fairies. We're getting to Real Simple and Oprah. I've got those on my pile over there. Those are wonderful too. But I wanted to get into the free stuff. I get most of my stuff free. You can, if you are traveling in the car and you are crossing a border of any of the states, most states, I want to say almost 95% of the states, will have a welcome center right after you cross the border. And those welcome centers have all kinds of publications, pamphlets, brochures, for all the cities in the state. They are travel brochures. They want you to know about things to see, places to go, those kinds of things. So they're usually in either counties, cities, regions in the state, and a lot of the Florida ones are huge, and they'll be all four walls and sometimes, shelves in between, full of publications for zoos, for aquariums, for art galleries, and all kinds of stuff. Parks, national parks, and state parks. And they have in them all kinds of fabulous pictures trying to get you to go visit their beach, their zoo, their wildlife adventure, the gardens, art galleries, museums. Visit Orlando. Look at that. That's a wonderful illustration. I really enjoy these. I get a lot of great images in here. They try to take photographs so that you will be so intrigued that you need to go visit these places. They want you to want to go see these places. Look at all these wonderful images. Now, if you are not traveling in a car and you do not cross, look at that. That's gorgeous. If you are not traveling in a car, you can, hi Emma, hi Yvette, you can go online and request brochures and pamphlets from the states that you would like. They will send them to your house free. It depends on what kinds of images that you're looking for. Florida is a good one for beaches and outdoor landscapes and aquariums and fish and that kind of stuff. If you want other kinds of things, and New York is great for what's the word? The Broadway shows, those kinds of cityscape things, museums, that kind of thing. Washington, D.C. is great for history. They've got a lot of museums there that they are, I had one of these and I put this image in my Anything Goes book. Everything comes in your husband's name and he hides them. Oh, hi Deanna. So I'm sorry, I need to catch up with the chat here. Yeah. Most states will send you free of charge brochures for their state. And there are tons of publications and maps. Don't forget to request a map. And especially if you are traveling through some of the states, you're planning a trip, get the publications ahead of time, get the maps and stuff, and really plan your trip. This one is North Carolina, Winston-Salem. Winston-Salem, is that one word or two different places? I'm not sure. I did get this at a welcome center at the state line. Again, they are telling you, here's the ticket to culture. So there's all kinds of Broadway shows, concerts, different happenings going on, museums, universities. Here's a whole list of museums here. Golf courses, gardens, historic parks, science museums, performance venues. They'll always have some kind of photographs to make you want to go to these places. So these are free. And look at the wonderful, wonderful photographs in them. Sometimes I do kind of flip through some of the publications. I have been known to get more than one. I'm terrible. I know that's, and I feel bad. I used to feel very bad about taking these publications from the welcome centers. But here's the thing, guys. Here's to alleviate the guilt just a little bit. These welcome centers have volunteers or employees, I'm not sure how it works, that are there to answer questions about the area. Now, they have guest books. Some of them are online, it's on the computer. Some of them are actual books that they want the visitors who come in to sign. And the reason they want people to sign these books is so they have some kind of idea of how many people are stopping by these visitor centers. So if no one is stopping by the visitor centers and no one is picking up any of the publications, we start to lose those visitor centers because they think that they are not necessary. Now, I think some of these welcome centers employ people to answer questions. So we are actually providing a service. We're letting this person. Hi, Scotty. We're giving people jobs, giving them a reason to have these welcome centers. And they do have to republish their publications. If they don't disappear, this one is 2017 travel guide. So in 2018, they have to update the information. They're going to throw all these pamphlets away. All these beautiful photographs are going to end up in the dumpster. They're old. The information has changed. Things need to be added. Things need to be taken away. So don't be afraid to take some of those publications. If no one is taking any of the publications, no one is showing up at these visitor centers, they're going to stop having these things. They want you to take these publications. It gives them a job. It gives them, So I did feel guilty about, taking one or two. I'm not really going to visit all these places in North Carolina. But then when you think about it, what are they going to do with these old publications when, they're putting out the new ones? If they think that people are taking them and looking at them, it helps people, okay? Well, I don't know. It might be a recycle bin, but, it might be a dumpster too. Thanks, Dorothy. Sorry. Okay. So, okay. Bye, Verifee. So, this is, I have stopped feeling guilty about taking the free publications. I've stopped feeling guilty about it. What are they going to do with these old publications anyway? They're already printed. They're beautiful. I'm going to use them. And a lot of times in these publications, let me see if I can find one. In the back are, maybe it's not this one. A lot of places have logos and stuff. Let's see, this is a little one for Charleston, South Carolina. I love these little ones. You've got what am I trying to say? The logos for companies, the logos for some of these places. That's a beautiful little logo. It's a little tiny picture or whatever. I love the logos. They're always really interesting. Here's one for beachside vacations. It's a little starfish. This is where I get my little tiny images. I love the logos. So when I am looking at these books, I am going through them page by page, and it takes me a while. It will take me an hour, if not longer, to go through a publication. So I'll go through and I see this is a whole picture that I can use. I'll use this whole thing. I'll probably use a little bit of this. Here's words. Explore. Love that word. I save that word whenever I come across it. And then there's the problem when there's things on both sides. Which side do you keep? I usually rip out the whole entire page. And the one that I think I would like the most, I put face up. So when I go back to it to cut the images out that I want to use, I try to look on the backs to see if there's anything, and I try to decide which image that I would rather have. So I go through and I save just about everything. Not usually food, but I do like the logo. I know the sand dollar, but the logo for the company, the company logos. I like tables where you're looking down on the table. I like those kind of images. I don't know why, but I find them fun to look at in glue books. I like windows, so this little tiny picture here, I would save that one. I like little pictures. They are nice for little spots of white that you want to cover up, and something like that is perfect. So I not only look at the big pictures, but I am looking at the logos, the littler pictures, the pictures inside of pictures. Look at that. So that is an artist. It's picture inside this photograph. Okay, so if I don't want to use the entire picture, maybe I'd want to use the artwork that I see in the picture. I love mannequins, doors. Some people really like jewelry. I don't do a whole lot of that. I collect words, numbers, and I was trying to come up with the name for company logos is what I was trying to come up with. See, here's another logo. It's a tree. It's beautiful. I like them. Little tiny, tiny images. Hi, Filda. And look at these little pictures. Take a look at some of the larger pictures. Will have little bits in them. You might not want the whole picture, but maybe just part of the picture would work. Really take a look at the pages of the magazines as you're going through them. And when I show some more magazines, I'm going to show you what I'm looking for. Come on. What I'm looking for as I go through the magazines. Maps. I love, here's an owl. Love the owl. I like the brochures, the publications for the states. Pieces of map. I love pieces of map. And this one comes out, so it's a nice, it has glue on it. I hadn't taken it out yet. So it's a nice size. You can do all kinds of things with this piece of paper. Okay, so take a look. Here's another map. Take a look at the details of the publication and the page. Give yourself a chance to really look at what's there. The words, the fonts. I do collect numbers and things like that. I've got those kinds of things in my mind. And scavenger hunt categories. Keep those in your mind too, and you can collect those along the way. I have envelopes that I put my scavenger hunt categories in. so that they're all together. Look at that. That's a beautiful picture with a wonderful, I love the reflection there. And here's another little logo of a shell. I love the little tiny pictures. You ask where I find the little tiny pictures. Mostly they come in advertisements. Advertisements for places. They're mostly logos. Companies have the best logos. They want you to look at their site. Hi, Jamie. So I like to go to the backs of the magazines or publications and find where they're advertising companies and see what I can see. And as I'm talking about, here's a black and white picture. They're everywhere. You just have to look for them. And that one's a cool one. I've never come across that one before. That's a cool one. So I will be saving that. In the little tiny pictures advertising either the company or a restaurant or a museum or something. In the back of Stampington and Company, you've got the advertisements for companies selling things. They have great logos as well and great little pictures. I always look at advertisements for that kind of thing. And I wish I had one of those magazines close by so I could show you what I'm talking about. All right. Let me get into the regular magazines now. This one is actually a free publication from Publix. They had it out there for holiday season 2017. And I did take 2 of these. Beautiful, beautiful. Yes, there are words in the picture, but that was in this book, right? Yes. Yes. There are words on the picture. You are correct. I would still save this whole entire page, and as I'm getting ready to use it, I might glue down the whole page and put another image on top of the words, or I might cut off just that part of the image and use that and cover up what little tiny bit of words are peek through. You have many options, but most of that is free and clear. So don't worry about words on top of things. If there were words across her a little bit, when you're doing a glue book, you can easily, let me see if I have some little pictures here. I do. I have a couple little pictures. Here's a picture of a fish. You can easily say there's words over some of this picture. You can easily put an image over the top of those words. You're layering your images together, making them more interesting. Sometimes I'm not real happy about where they decide to put the words, but it makes me think outside the box. It makes me think, how can I cover that with something else so that it still looks all right? Layering makes things really interesting. Okay? All right. So, we're talking about travel magazines. Other countries also have travel magazines. I was looking for something about Stonehenge. I never did find any publications for Stonehenge, but I did send away for some English travel brochures, and they sent them to me free of charge. So England has them, and other places have them too. Not all of these countries will send them to America, but a lot of these travel companies from different countries other than America, you know, they want you to come and visit. They want you to come spend money in their country. They will send publications to entice you to come and visit and spend money there. So don't rule out countries as well. When you're Googling, when you're looking online for free publications, try countries as well. I only have done that in a couple places in England. I haven't gone all crazy about it because I know it's expensive for them. So I try to stick with the states. All right. So like I was saying, this one is a free publication that I got from Publix, my grocery store. It has some recipes in it, trying to get you to buy stuff at the store. Gorgeous, gorgeous photographs. And I wasn't going to get it, but I came across this one. And I said, yep, gotta have. I actually took two. I took two. What about Claudette? If you are asking me a question, please put it in all caps and that I can see it. Is that question for me? What about printing out photos from online brochures? Is that okay? I know, this is a great magazine. I do not know what the copyright laws are for online magazine images. I have no idea. I would think that, you know, if you're using it in a personal glue book, you're not selling it, you're not, you know, I don't know. They still have them in your store? I think they're gorgeous. And if they have any more, I might go back and get a couple more. I might just do that because, you know, I like the little ones too. I don't know if it is, you know, what the copyright things are for things online. You can, and that was going to be one of my suggestions. Graphics Fairy is a place that I go, that I have Graphics Fairy on my Pinterest. I save those images. They are copyright free images that you can use in your projects. They are older vintage images, so the copyright is expired for them, and you are free to use them as you would like to use them. There are many sites online that you can find copyright-free images to use in any projects that you have. Graphics Fairy is my favorite. I know that there's a ton more. I don't have the list for that. So then we get into some of the magazines that Linda had sent to me. And I need to get my address off of here, sorry. So we were talking about Real Simple. This is the latest one from Real Simple. I like the Cosmopolitan. Look at how beautiful that image is. Yes, Graphics Fairy, if you subscribe to her newsletter, she sends out free images every Friday. just to keep you in touch with new images that are coming out. Every Friday, she sends out a newsletter. There's 5 to 7 images that you can find there, and she sends them to your email. So that is perfect. And yes, I forgot about AAA. If you're a member of AAA, stop by AAA. They have all kinds of guides, travel guides, and things like that also. Okay? All right. So the Real Simple, I like the Red Book, Real Simple, Oprah, these kinds of things. They've got a lot of interior design. They've got lots of wonderful articles, and you never know what kind of articles they're going to have and how they're going to illustrate the articles. They also have great titles for their articles, and I always save the words as well, the colors, the textures for my color texture glue book. Here's some great colors and textures. Faces, and all kinds of images for the ABC scavenger hunt book. My favorite piece. There's people to make paper dolls from, flowers, food. Here's a now what. You guys made me save that before. It must be a regular article in here. So this is what I do. I go through and I save just about everything. I put them in all kinds of things, and I will get into later about how I save my images. I am completely swamped with stuff around me right now. I tried to get stuff out and was not able to. I don't have enough room for everything. But I will get out my bins, my baskets, my clear envelopes, my handmade envelopes. I've got plastic containers. I've got the sleeves with the binder sleeves, the page protectors. I've got portfolios. I've got boxes, shoe boxes, bags, Ziploc bags. I am overcome by images and how I store images. I get these from, these are the Reese's. I haven't had these in quite a while. At Walmart, these are little brownies, Reese's Pieces brownies. They're really good. It reminds me, I haven't had those in a while. I should go get some. But this is the cover for the box that those come in. It's a great little place to put my signatures and some images that I might glue into the signatures so everything's all together. And it's there. Here's another one. This one's from the bakery. I'm not sure exactly what was in here. But this one is the Gobstopper book cover with the words and the signature pieces of paper that I'm gluing the words on, and a whole bunch of words that I'm gluing onto that paper. They are so good. The Reese's Pieces brownies, oh, they are really good. I was addicted for a while. I would buy, and I think there's like 12 of them in a... The container was full, okay? The container was full. I'd go through it in like 2 days. It was bad. It's a kitty. Gonna have to save the kitty. Hi, Raven. I do like baskets at Dollar Tree. I've got a bunch of them. These are the baskets that I absolutely love, and I store things in these a lot. These are my collage fodder baskets that I have right beside me here, and I like them because I can stack them up together to save space. And in them I've got fish bits, I've got book pages. In this one I've got envelope, security envelope patterns, tissue paper, scrapbook paper, painted paper, embossed images. And I can stack them up on top of each other and save the space and still have it all sorted out so I can find things. I love the Dollar Tree baskets. Love them. Use them for everything. I've got the bigger ones too for the bigger images and full page, magazine pages, things like that. I have those too. I stack them together. Faces are another one that I save. Pixel Bay is another one. Pixel Bay has some great three-dimensional images that you can use. After a while, they'll ask you to become a member. I stopped trying to become a member, but they still send me emails every once in a while trying to get me to be a member. All right, so these kinds of magazines, they have, and this Real Simple are mostly matte type images. These aren't the real shiny, glossy. Hello, Fish Bites. Hi, Jillian. Taco Tuesday just arrived. And so I like illustrations too. So I will save illustrations from these magazines. And then I go to the back and see if there are advertisings. I like the advertising. That's an interesting image. If it doesn't have words on it, you really wouldn't be able to tell what it is. It's kind of interesting. The plate with a piece of cake on it, I like that. Add a touch of vintage. I like the words. That's going to be in my word book. Please explain what a glue book is. A glue book is a structure, a book, a signature, or even a piece of paper, a Rolodex, anything. A glue book is a structure that you glue images and ephemera in. It is a collection of images that just requires gluing them together. That is a simple glue book. Okay? This is a traditional type glue book. It's just a picture book. Images glued into a book is a glue book. Very simple. Okay? Okay? All right, so that one is real simple. I like the Martha Stewart Living is another one of those type of magazines, more glossy pictures, wonderful images. I love advertising. Advertising has the best images. Look at that. It is a sundae made from different kinds of planters' nuts. Can you see it? It's wonderful. This one was Easter, March 2016, so I've had it for quite a while. Still need to harvest this one. And I just take pieces of the images that I want and leave the rest. Food, flowers, eggs, bicycles, faces, all this stuff. Interior design. Another great one publication to look into is catalogs. Catalogs are trying to sell you stuff. They make the pictures look really, really good, and there's a lot of images in different kinds of catalogs. So you can also request catalogs online for free. Not every company has a physical catalog that they can send you, but a lot of them do. If you look and search, usually under services, they a lot of times will have a request catalog, and you just give them your address and they send the catalog. So I like the glamour and the fashion kind of magazines. Glamour is great because I love the faces. They've got a lot of great advertising as well. Look at that. That's a great image. Black and white images. All kinds of color. Here's a Monopoly board. It's not the traditional one. Here's another black and white image. You can find them everywhere. Hi, Randy Rabbit. Do I have shelves? I don't have shelves of magazines. I have piles against walls, against shelves. I have piles everywhere. I have a lot of milk crates full of magazines that I didn't get a chance to go through before I moved and haven't had a chance to get to since I moved. I've got thousands of magazines that I need to go through. Are the images related in any way? They can be, but in a glue book can be completely random. Completely random. I'm doing the junk journal. It's a signature. But I am putting a picture down on the page because it's the right size, not because of anything that the picture is. It's only that it's the right size. There is absolutely no reason for me to have put this chicken in this art gallery with these wild turkeys walking underneath it, with these faces. It just happened. They just happened to go together. They just happened to get glued together. They don't have to be related, but they can be in a glue book. And I'm going to go through this all in the series that I'm trying to get done. They can definitely be themed. Here's the scavenger hunt book, and all of the images on each page it's a theme. Every page, this is all waterfalls, all elephants. They can be related. They don't have to be related. Here's all hands. And I'm still working on all these. Watch faces. They can be. They don't have to be. Goodbye, Claudette. I hope that helps in some of these questions. I'm getting out the videos for the basic information for glue books. I'm going and trying to get it done. And all that information will be in there, suggestions and all this stuff. So, I like those kinds of magazines for that. You like, I dances with pit bulls. I like the ticket page, yes. All right, so let's get into some of the more strange, typical publications. This one's Time. This one has very, very thin paper, but the articles can be very interesting, and the words, the names of the articles the illustrations and pictures that you find can be really interesting. Here's an eagle. Here is a horse. There are people, a car that's crashed into the second story of a house, lobsters. Again, these guys have all kinds of advertising, and this is a cool picture with her sitting in with all these images. That's got to go into a glue book, right? That's got to. Let's get to focus. That is a wonderful glue book image. Okay? So you can find black and white images. There's advertising in here. There's all kinds of articles, and you never know what you're going to find. This is just a regular, this is time. This is a time. You can find images in just about anything. Anything at all. Here is Food Network magazine. It is, I have this, this is an advertisement for Dubai. And I have it in a smaller, it was in a different magazine, it was a smaller picture that only took up one side of the page. But here it is, really large. This is a cake. I was looking at this earlier. This is actually a cake. I thought that was hilarious. Even in cooking magazines, you can find all kinds of interesting. I thought this was hilarious. The egg salad sandwich. Gonna have to save that one too. The advertisements are wonderful. You can find all kinds of fun things in any kind of magazine. Here's the chicken. Here's the water chicken. Okay, so just take a look at just regular magazines. If you come across them in the thrift shop or yard sales, or if your neighbors get magazines and they're willing to part with them after they're done, pay attention to people around you that they get magazines, and ask them what they do with. See, it's a piece of cake. It shows how to make that. Ask them what they do with their magazines when they're done with them. Do they save them? If not, you'd be willing to take anything they don't want off their hands. Okay? This one is Food Network magazine. I think this was one that I got points, some kind of points. It's sent to me. I didn't pay for it, but it gets sent to me all the time. It's got weird recipes in it. Okay, so here is a money magazine, and of course, you wouldn't think finding a money magazine that you would find images in it. Look at that. Here is a scuba diver. This is pretty cool. That's a cool image. There's wonderful words in here. There's numbers in here. There's advertising, fonts. Here's a baby. You just need to take a look. Just about any kind of publication. Here's another black and white picture. I think every single publication that I've gone through today has at least one black and white in it. You can find, and there's that same picture, it's just a little bit bigger. You can find images in just about any kind of magazine. You just need to retrain your brain to look at images differently. You can, if you were just to look at that image, you would have no idea that it's, taking stock, the bull market. It's an interesting illustration, just all by itself. Taking it out of its life, taking it away from the page. Here's another one of those bulls. It gives it a different life. It gives it a different meaning. You can put it with different things, and it will be different. That's a wonderful too. Here's some more illustrations that are pretty cool. And this is just a money magazine. Look at all the images that are in this money magazine. Here is Cigar Aficionado. Now, I am not a big cigar person. This came from Linda's Points. This is one of the many publications that have been sent to me. Logos again. These pages are huge. This is bigger than most magazine. But look at that skyline there. That is gorgeous. I love the colors in that. There's a safari picture. I don't necessarily have a bat. I like the logo. Some of the cigar bands can be used in glue books. Little bits of something. The watches. Shame on Apple. Wonderful words. Here's a lion. Take a look. Here's 3 more lions. I don't like cigars at all. Here's Churchill. It's a wonderful place. Not every page has something on it that I can use, but there's a lot. This is a great image. Look at this advertising. Look at how gorgeous that is. Look at all the color on that. It's beautiful. I can use just about all of this page. I love it. There's a deer. Another deer. Some eggs. The cars. Another page that's got a tree as a logo, and look at how cool that is. So here's watches. Look at how many images are in here for a subject that I don't really care too much about. I was not expecting to find stuff in these kinds of magazines. Wine Spectacular, I don't have a copy of that one. Also, it's a huge book like this one, and it has lots of wonderful advertising in it that can be used for its images. It's surprising, something like that. I wasn't expecting to find a lot of images in the Money magazine, but I did. Here is Outside, The Meaning of Life, Guidebook for Endless Adventure. And there's tons of fun images in this one as well. An old car. It's an old picture. Trees, cars, landscapes, penguins, faces, words, Look at the illustrations. So cool. So cool. Dogs, black and white image, more black and white photographs. All kinds of stuff to use. Suitcases. And nice pictures. Look at that. That's a huge, it's sunglasses, but it is a really cool picture. Think outside the box. Pomegranate is pretty neat. The illustrations, I just love them. All right, what else do we have? Those are some more. Okay, so here is a travel company's brochure, and I started getting this one. This was one of my favorites. I was going someplace and I went online and requested some information for a place, and they continue to send me their catalogs for their tours and cruises. And this is many pages. Our travel collection. Smithsonian is one of my favorites. Back Road Journeys is another one that's pretty good. And I think there's a third one that I enjoyed. But this is an update for tours and cruises that are coming out. It usually comes out, I want to say 4 times a year. It might be 3 times a year. And it gives you an idea of different places that you could visit and what kind of tours they're offering to go visit those places. And they give all kinds of pictures to those places, which I love. So this one is Europe, the Prague clock. It's gorgeous. This one I requested online. They sent me one. I wasn't expecting to keep receiving them. They just continue to send them to me, and I use them like crazy. I will be using a lot of these images in my Around the World glue book. So here is the Danbu River Cruise in Prague, the Czech Republic. It gives the dates, the price, and all the details of this cruise, and then some pictures of the things that you'll see on that tour. And so it is a whole book of the different tours that they have going on. Holland and Belgium, Portugal. The train trips. I would love to take, I always wanted to take a train. The Orient Express. I wanted to do the Orient Express. I never got a chance to. Europe, holiday markets. Another, it's just all these pictures. Look at all these wonderful illustrations and pictures of places to visit, tours to take, and it just goes on and on and on. So I do recommend travel companies for their catalogs. Request their catalogs. Look how cool that is. Oxford University, Northern Spain and Portugal, hot springs in Bath, it I need to, I didn't realize I had this one. I need to go through and cut out these images for my glue book because there's quite a few of them that I don't have. A lot of them I do. This one they've redone almost every single time, I think. These three pictures are in the books constantly. So I have had, and I've used this image many times. Excuse me. Many times. Because I love that. And so they'll use the same images so you can use it for more than one thing and don't have to worry about using it up and not getting another one. The Northern Lights of Iceland. Lithuania, Poland, Norwegian fjord, Russia, so, oh, look at that elephant. How cool is that? Sorry, I got to looking at it. I didn't realize that there's a lot of the images that they have changed up a little bit, and I need some of these for my book. I've been trimming up my around the world images and didn't realize there were new ones in here. I need a lot of these. They are putting out some new photographs. Look at that bird. Elephants. Asia and the Pacific. I love this catalog. Love it. Backroads is another one. I think I'm not getting Backroads anymore. They stopped sending me those after I moved. But they had some wonderful tours and pictures in them as well. And I wish I could remember the other one. There's another one that I used to get, and I don't think I get that one anymore. Here's a art museum, so it's actually a piece of art along the coast of Maine. So do not forget about catalogs, decorating, house decorating catalogs. I used to get a catalog called Signals, and that was a catalog that had all kinds of interesting gifts, gift-giving ideas, interesting items to give to people who have everything. So they are unique kinds of things, and they had some great images in there. And Gargoyle was one of my favorites in that one. Signals. So, and I think I looked up gift-giving catalogs to get some of those. Oriental Trader is another great catalog for images, and it's got a lot of really inexpensive, Halloween treats, things for parties and that kind of stuff. Norm Thompson, I'm not familiar with. Clothing catalogs. I used to get a catalog for, and I don't remember what it was called, a yoga retreat. I don't remember the name of the place. I was looking into prices for a retreat at one point, and they sent catalogs with all kinds of really calming, gorgeous, what they were offering, the classes they were offering, the schedules and stuff like that. Hi, Ada. Expensive clothes. Yeah, expensive clothes catalogs are nice. So if you want to, look into retreats, they usually have wonderful publications. They're trying to get you to come to their retreat. So they're going to have a lot of nice images in them that you can probably use. What other kinds of catalogs? I used to get quite a few. After I moved, I stopped getting them. Decorating, travel catalogs, and I like the catalogs and this kind of thing more than anything, because I'm not spending money on things to cut up. It makes me feel a little less guilty, that I'm not cutting up my money, you know. There's Ellen DeNoon, isn't it? I don't see. I swear that's Ellen DeNoon, but I could be wrong. I don't remember seeing it from this angle, but I believe that's the Scottish Highlands Castle where the Highlander was filmed. I loved that castle. I visited it many times. Catalogs are a wonderful, wonderful place to get images. They're trying to get you to buy things, so they're going to make this stuff look really, really good. All right, newspapers are also a great place to get things. I've got whole books made from newspapers. This one is a meander book. It is a glue book. It's just in a different structure, a different form. And all that I've glued on to these pages are images and words from newspapers. It's still a glue book. It is still just a glue book. All I did was glue images on. Okay? So newspapers and publications, you know, cities have those pamphlets that are usually kind of like newspapers that have lists of events that are going on in the city so that you're aware of things that are happening. Those have a lot of good images and words in them as well. So, you know, don't pass those up if you see them. So we did talk a little bit about printing things off the internet. Graphics Fairy is wonderful for that kind of thing. Finding, you know, all that kind of stuff. Family photos. This is my great-great-grandfather. The base of the meander book is a poster board. It is pretty sturdy. It's a poster board, so it's pretty big. I print off photographs, my own photographs that I've taken, and photographs of the family. I print them on copy paper, and I glue those in. Another family photo. Here is the visa from my trip to Kenya in '92, I think it was. I copied this out of my passport. Thought it was really cool. Just scanned it in and copied it onto a piece of copy paper. So now I can use that as a piece of glue book. Here's a wooden box that I have, and I did scan it and printed it out, and now I've got images, postcard or a greeting card of my father's, I think. This one's a postcard of my great-grandmother's. Scanned it, printed it out. Book images. Here is it's a matchbook that I have. I didn't want to do anything with the matchbook, so I scanned it and printed it out so that I can use it. And I do that quite a bit. I will scan all kinds of stuff and then print them out. These are all things that I actually have, physically have. Dry cleaning tickets, bus transfers, envelopes, pages. These are egg roll wrapper, a receipt in Chinese or Japanese. I've got all this stuff. where was my great-grandfather in the picture? He was in Norway. He sent that to my great-grandfather for his birthday from Norway to North Dakota. So, you've got stuff that you don't want to use but are great for images, for glue books. Scan them. Print them out so that you don't have to use the originals. Here's another one. A scan that I did of some handmade paper. I love this handmade paper. I'm afraid to use it. So I just scanned the paper, and it looks like it's 3D. It still looks embossed. So I can use that paper, and it actually would be easier to glue, and still have the paper, the images. Here's the ticket page. I scanned it in. Actually, I took a picture of it and printed it out. So now I can use little bits of this on a glue book page. This came from the Graphics Fairy. It was a little book that you made. You folded in half and then in half again, and it gave you a book that you could color or do all kinds of stuff with. So this can be found on the Graphics Fairy site. But these are great images to use in anything. I scan in newspaper. I've got this great newspaper. I don't want to use it all up, so I scanned it in, and now I can use that. I've got music pages, some vintage music pages that have tape on them. I scanned them in, printed it out, and now I can use this in anything. Where did I get the tickets? These tickets? These tickets are my collection of tickets. This is from my scavenger hunt book. These are all tickets. These are all real tickets that I've collected over the years in various places. I love tickets. So this is the ticket page. These are the actual tickets, and this was the picture that I took of the tickets so that I can use them again. Okay? Tickets are a great thing to use in glue books. Just you can use the regular tickets. Sorry. And I thought I had a couple more printouts. Yes, I do. Here's a printout, a scan that I put a bunch of my keys. I collect keys. I put a bunch of them down on the scanner bed, put a Japanese or Chinese newspaper on top, scanned it. Now I can print this out and use these keys in all kinds of things and still not have, you can't glue in keys. That's kind of a tough one. So you hadn't thought of photographing pages from the scavenger hunt book? There you go. You can scan in your artwork and use that in your glue books as well. Think about your own artwork. You don't have to cut it up. You can scan it. You can take a picture of it, print it out, and use that. They look real? Yep, I scanned it. I like doing scans. Scans sometimes work better for me than photographs do. And I scan everything. So what else did I've got other scans. I've got scans of my watch parts and tickets. Here's one. Watch parts, the watch faces, and some clock hands that I have. I put a piece of painted paper behind them and printed that out so that in color, so that I had them. It would work with buttons. It works with, I scan everything. I scan everything. I've got tons and tons. I'll spend hours scanning stuff. I've scanned my letters from, this is a great uncle. This one's my great great grandfather. They're letters that he wrote in Norwegian. I have scanned all of them for the family, just to keep them, so that I can share them with everybody, so everybody has a copy of them. But these are just printouts. So I'm not losing the letter, but it looks exactly like the letter. Okay? So you're not using your family ephemera. Scan it, copy it, use it that way. I've got a lot of that, different kinds of things. So here's another one. This one is the insurance booklet that my great-grandmother had in Norway. It's actually, the same page. I just copied it twice. Pieces of jewelry, that would be a great scan. So now I've got these images that I can use in glue books. This one is my grandmother's rhubarb wine recipe. I found this all folded up with the paper clip, and some other recipes as well. I scanned them in so that I can use them. Oh, here's another scan that I did. That same matchbook. There's the inside of the matchbook and some other matchbooks that I have. I even scanned the matches so that so they'd be flat, so that I can glue them in. And I scanned some of the coupons or the tickets before I used them. So now I've got these images that are flat and can be used. Okay? So, we're out of focus again. Graphics fairy type images, playing cards, family photos. Here's another, this is a family photo. I think this is a graphics fairy image. I haven't scanned in a while. I'm planning to do some scanning, but I have not had time to do scanning. Here is an etching. This is a family, it was in the family photos. It's a little tiny etching. I scanned it, blew it up, and so you want the rhubarb wine recipe. It's in Norwegian. I don't know if I could actually share it or not. Oh, nope, here it is. Oh dear. Maybe I shouldn't have shown that, huh? I can't get rhubarb here. I miss rhubarb. So your family pictures, book illustrations. If you go through, books that you are, using pages for, and there's illustrations in there, why not use the illustrations in your glue books as well? Illustrations, pictures, encyclopedias have some great pictures in them. Here's a couple of photographs that are my photographs that I took. I will print out more than one. I have the option when I'm printing out pictures that I can put, 4 images of the same image on a piece of 4x6 paper. And so I do that so I can get little ones. This is a scan of a picture of a scarf that I have. Elephants on it. You can use packaging. You can use bottle labels. Menus. Dress patterns. This came from a hotel room. It was the paper. Isn't that pretty? Of course I had to have that. Security envelopes, patterns, store-bought ephemera. When you're thinking about dress patterns as well, I thought I'd cut one out, and I thought it was here, and I don't see it. Where did I put it? I am getting ready to do a glue book, and this is what I've got all this for. I put some scrapbook papers together in some signatures in some vintage looking ways, and I will be using this kind of thing in this signature I'll be putting together. Wine labels have been rough here lately. They've changed the glue formula. What I do is I soak the wine bottle overnight in hot water. That doesn't always get it off. The glue is much thicker now, but you can, once in the morning, soak it again in hot water for an hour or so, and use a glue gun on it, and it loosens up that glue, because soaking it for 12 hours in hot water will still not get those wine labels off. And I've ruined quite a few wine labels trying to get them off. They have changed the formula. But if you use a heat gun on them, you can, not always, there's been a couple that have been pretty stubborn and I've not been able to get off, but you usually can get them off. Okay? Yeah. We are getting to be about that time. I'm trying to think of all the other things that I wanted to show. That's my daughter's picture that I have printed out to use. Menus. Maps are good. Book illustrations. There's a wine label that took me a while to get it off, but I did finally get that one off. The dress patterns. Don't forget the envelope. I'm going to use the envelope. Book pages, greeting cards. I had a list of all the different kinds of things you can use for images for glue books. But then again, you know, I am doing the series and I will be going through how to find images. I just really wanted to go through some of my magazines, kind of show how and what I am looking for as I am looking through magazines, what I'm looking for. And, you know, you just train your brain to look at things differently. And you'll find them. You will find images. Okay? You will find images if you take the time and really look around. Packaging, food packaging, use that can of beans to get the Green Giant label off of that when you're done with it. Okay? I know, it is really odd. They used to float off, the wine labels. They used to be, and beer bottles too. They would come off. You'd wake up in the morning and they'd be floating there in the water. They have changed the glue recipe. I tell you, they have changed the glue recipe. It is impossible to get those little things off now. Almost impossible. It takes a lot of work to get wine labels and beer bottles off. Okay, so all right. I'm trying to get those glue book basic videos out. Having a little bit of trouble. I do have to do, I got all my tax stuff. And so I am going to be doing all my tax, you know it's that time. So, and that's going to take a lot of time. I need to do a lot of, I've saved all my receipts, but I haven't been keeping track, and I need to, all that stuff. So I will not be streaming on Sunday. I do apologize. It's going to take me a very long time to get my tax stuff all together and organized, and I need to finish that all up. So I know it's going to take me a very long time, so I am planning not to stream on Sunday. I'm trying to get the videos out for the glue book basics before I do that. So I'm probably going to be doing that on Sunday. Just so you all know, I apologize. And I've got some other. This one is Bella Grace, the expensive one. Bella Grace. This is the one that will be out until the end of, well, until March. It'll be out until March. They'll put a new one out in March. I like this. I like the chair. All right. So thank you for spending some time with me. I hope that helps with the images. Trying to find images, trying to get your collections in order. I am going through quite a bit of my images as I'm going through all these glue books and doing them. Some of these images I've had for such a long time, I'm never going to use. I am putting them aside. I will be sharing those for those people that have been contacting me. I have you all in mind. I will be sharing images that I won't be using. I'm not sure exactly how I will be getting those out there, what I'm going to do yet, but I am not throwing anything away. I will be sharing all kinds of stuff. So, I've been running out of time from things. I've had a hard time keeping up with all the comments in Art Experiments and YouTube and Facebook and all that stuff. It's taking. I'm getting a whole lot more comments and things, and it's taking a lot of time to respond to those comments. I don't always have a lot of time for a long reply. I am trying to, in the Facebook group, I'm trying to put a thumbs up, a like on your stuff so you know I've seen it. I do apologize. My time, it's running away, and I'm not getting all my stuff done. So I have to reserve some of my time for things. I can't spend 5 hours with all my replies, which I have been doing. I just can't spend that much time with all of them. So I'm trying to condense it just a little bit. I do apologize. I love all your comments. Please keep commenting. That's not what I'm saying. And I'm trying to reply back to all the comments as much as I can. I'm trying to get a good rhythm going on so I can get everything done. This is Bella Grace. Okay, so I do apologize. I'm running out of time, not getting as much done as I'd hoped. I will be back on Tuesday. This is just a beautiful magazine. I just thought I'd flip through something so that you had something to look at while I talked. So I'll be back on Tuesday. I'm trying my best to get to everything, and I'm having a difficult time trying to get to everything. So thanks for spending time with me. It's been wonderful. And I will see you on Tuesday. If you have any questions, if you're watching the recording, have any questions about some of the things that I showed today, I will reply. It might take me a little while to get there, but I will reply eventually. All right. So thanks, everyone. I will see you on Tuesday. I will not be streaming on Sunday. I will see you on Tuesday. All right. I will be back on Tuesday, Vicki. I will not be streaming on Sunday. I have my taxes that I need to get done. I know I'm going to need the time. So I apologize in advance. I will see you on Tuesday. So thank you, everyone. I hope this helps just a little bit. Thanks for watching if you're watching the recording. Hi, Mitz. I didn't see you come in. Hi, Azure Muse. I didn't see you either. Sorry, I've been talking. Bye, everyone. Thanks, everyone, for being here. See you Tuesday.